Hello, this is Smooth Traffic on YouTube, and I'm Johnny Edge. Hello. We're here with the Suzuki Ignis. This is one of 2017's hit cars. They've sold around 5,000 of these since the start of the year. Ooh, that's a bit unusual, isn't it? Look at it. It's quite a quirky car. It's quite small, but it's four-wheel drive, and it has a 1.2 litre petrol engine. What's going on here? This is a real quirky car. It's actually quite affordable. This car costs under £15,000. It's brand new. Brand new. Now, looking at the spec sheet, I've seen something I really like. 60.1 miles per gallon on a combined cycle. That means you can reasonably expect 45. You all know what manufacturers are like for exaggerating their MPG claims. 45, not bad. So Suzuki has to stand out a little bit because its cars probably don't sell as much and don't stand out as much as, you know, the big boys. Suzuki aren't the big boys. They're more famous for motorbikes than they are cars, really. But don't be fooled by that, because Suzuki make bloody good cars, and because of that they've decided to be a little bit brave with the styling here. Look at this, there's angles and things anyway, and also there's this lovely Adidas stripe on the back here. Paul Pogba, if you're watching, that's for you right there. Get a haircut with that on the side of it, an Ignis. Yeah, the styling is going to divide some people, but I actually think this looks pretty cool. Every time I see one in the street I go, oh, hello, you know, catches your eye, doesn't it? Let's go and have a look inside the Suzuki Ignis. Funky on the outside and funky on the inside. Modern styling here. I think this is the official styling term that styling people would use. Very interesting dashboard architecture, I would say. The little heaty thing stands out at the bottom. Look at that. It's weird. It's like something you'd keep a secret in. And a touchscreen obviously there as well to help you guide around various things in the menu. A little bit of a digital dash there as well. Not all of it, obviously, that would be mad, but there's a little bit of a digital panel on there where you can sort of scroll through all sorts of information and other stuff you might need to know when you're driving a car. Very comfortable seats, bit of room in the back, not bad, like it. So, as you know on Smooth Traffic, we love cramming our very own Robert King into the boot, but we can't do it this time because he's behind the camera holding the thing so we can film it. This has 260 litres of boot space. That's about super mini size basically, and that's reasonable. As you can see here, King has loaded it up with all of his sex toys in these suitcases, and it is pretty comfortably fitting. So I'd say nice and practical. Nice and practical. King, you're filthy. So we're just about to set off in the Suzuki Ignis. I found something I don't like already. Look.
Box of neutrals.
It's a sloppy manual gearbox. I like a notchy, sort of firm feeling manual gearbox, and this one is a little bit vague, you know what I mean? It's difficult to sort of always know where it is. But anyway, let's give it a go. First impressions. Okay, so it's a Suzuki Ignis, it's not going to be fast. It does accelerate quite slowly. It's only got 90 horses, so it's not going to blow your socks off, but the car is quite light, so you can just kind of throw it around. The problem is it doesn't really give you much confidence. The steering is a little bit vague, a bit like the gearbox. But most people aren't going to be driving this around like I am. I tend to drive a bit like a pillock. And I think most people will be driving around inside city centres, not really minding that the steering is quite light, not really minding that the gearbox is a little bit funny, because they'll be taking things at a slower pace. For some reason, whenever I see a back road, I have to drive like an idiot. So, my bad. Probably just need to relax, get into the mindset of an Ignis driver, and, you know, and go from there, basically.
Well, I can say that passenger-wise, I don't know if I'm overly convinced by the ride, certainly from this side of the car. It does seem to feel every single bump that we've gone over so far quite viciously. Yeah. I do like the styling. I will say, you know, it's quite a nice place to be.
It's funky.
Funky is definitely the word that I would use. But
funky.
I just don't find the ride is particularly comfortable. Perhaps when I've driven it in a minute, maybe it'll be slightly different from that side of the cockpit.
I'm getting a different sensation to you. I think this rides quite well.
Okay.
Not too bad. Maybe it's because I'm anticipating the movements because I'm the one in control.
You're in control, yeah.
But so far, not too bad. The seats are very comfortable, and I think that helps. There's a lot of padding in the seats. Obviously, it's got quite a short wheelbase. It's only a little thing, so it doesn't glide, should we say? But
there's a wheel on each corner, so you know how big the car is.
Yeah, and it feels like that as well.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have said it was uncomfortable. I'm actually quite enjoying it. You know, the handling is a little bit strange to me, but I think once you get used to it, it's fine. And it's a Suzuki. It feels like a Suzuki, and I like that because Suzuki makes such modest little cars, really honest cars, and I really like that. There's nothing arrogant about Suzuki. They just make little cars that people really enjoy.
What kind of stuff have you got in the instrument panel?
I have got a charging diagram. So,
oh, okay, for recovering energy.
Yeah, it tells me when it's recovering energy. It probably does other things, but I don't know how to work it.
All John's managed to find is how to change the brightness of the screen that he's got there.
Ooh!
Now he's made everything disappear.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
okay.
there we go. Fuel economy.
So
52.
52, and that's been driven by people in
Like
the motoring press all day, which means it's been thrashed a bit. That's better than I thought it would do. Actually, I think I said in the intro this might do about 45 if we're lucky, but it's doing 52 in the hands of what are essentially automotive abusers. So that's good. Yeah, so you can scroll through basically, and you've got a variety of information that comes up. None of it's particularly interesting. Fuel economy is the most important one.
And range.
And range, yeah. I like this car. It's making me feel quite cheerful.
So I've taken over the driving now, and I can back up what John says. Who knew we'd agree on something? The ride comfort is much better here. It may just be John's driving. Sorry, I jest. Oh, and it's now screaming at me. Warning, lane departure. Just because I touched the white line. Did that to you a couple of times, didn't it,
He
John?
complains about my driving standards and then, you know, sets off the lane departure system in the car.
Which you set off 3 times when we weren't filming.
It's not on film though, is it?
True. True. You showed me. Anyway, this is quite fun. I must admit.
It's a fun car.
It's small, it's a little nippy. I mean, you could certainly thread it through little gaps without any bother.
This would be great in London.
Oh, definitely.
Or
The trouble is, people in London wouldn't buy this car.
no.
Snobbery,
Yeah. Yeah.
but very enjoyable.
If you're somebody who isn't a brand snob and likes the simple things in life, because this is fairly simple, this car,
Yep.
I think you'd like this. And people do like it. They've sold 5,000 of them, Suzuki have just told us. And it's done better than what they thought it would. It's a good little car. You can see why.